Hello and welcome. It is April 23rd of 1969, and the Cubs are coming home for a short two-game series in the middle of the week against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cubs coming in at 4-11, trying to make some headway after splitting a doubleheader with the Pirates yesterday. We will see that the Cubs are going to send left-hander Rich Nye, out to the mound. He is making start number 3, 0-1 with a 5.63 ERA. He will be opposed by the incomparable Bob Gibson of the Cardinals, who is making start number 4, 1-1 with a 2.35 ERA. The Cubs lineup will include Kessinger, Phillips, Williams, Santo, Hundley, Blomberg, Banks, Beckert, and Nye. While the Cardinals lineup will read Brock, Flood, Brown, Haig, McCarver, Shannon, Maxville, Gagliano, and the pitcher Gibson batting ninth. It is 50 degrees in Chicago today at Wrigley Field. The wind is blowing in off the lake at 10 mph. So, as the Cubs head out to take the field, we're going to see Nye on the mound facing a formidable Cardinal lineup today. The lefty Nye facing the lefty Brock, here to lead off the top of the first inning. The Cubs coming in with a 4-11 record, facing off with the Cardinals, who are currently 9-6. And the Cardinals did win the first two games between these teams earlier in the season. Nye now on the mound with an 0-2 count facing Brock. Here's the pitch. And a grounder towards short. Kessinger has it. Throws over to first. That is out, number 1. Flood now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Here is the first pitch from Nye. Flood waiting. And a liner past Santo at third into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Stopping at first is Flood with a single. And now Nye will face Brown with 1 out, 1 man on. Here is the first pitch, and Brock goes. He's trying to steal second. The throw goes down, and Hundley's throw is late. So Flood steals his base. That's his first steal of the season. He's now in scoring position for Brown with 1 out and a full count. Nye with the pitch. Inside for ball 4, so he issues the walk. Brown heads down to first, and now Joe Haig is the batter. Batting .316 with 3 home runs on the season. He's waiting for a 1-ball pitch from Nye. And a liner in right field. That's going to drop a little flare for a base hit. Stopping at third is Flood. So the Cardinals now have the bases loaded with only 1 out. And Nye having to work out of a bit of a jam here, facing Tim McCarver with the bases loaded, 1 out, and a full count pitch. And a grounder up the middle. That's going to get into center for a base hit. 1 run is in. And McCarver gets an RBI single. The bases are still loaded. And that will bring up Mike Shannon. Cardinals third baseman Shannon comes up with 1 out and the bases still loaded. Cardinals up by 1 now. 2-0 count and a grounder to third. Santo over to Beckert, but there's no relay to first. The Cubs are not able to complete the double play as Beckert was taken out at second base. And he is going to remain in the game. It looks like his hand might have taken a cleat, but he is not going to leave the game. So now 2 runs are in. Maxville comes up as the Cubs have a 2-out runners on the corners situation here in the top of the first inning. Here's a 2-2 count and waiting for the pitch. And a strike 3 on a curveball. So Maxville strikes out swinging. The Cardinals score twice with 3 hits. We're going to the bottom of the first of a 2-0 Cardinal lead. Kessinger facing Gibson here in the bottom of the first inning. Full count. Gibson working. And here is the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. That was a high fastball, and Gibson blew it right past him. This 2-run deficit already looks a bit imposing with Bob Gibson on the mound. So Phillips now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch to Adolfo Phillips and a grounder towards short. Picked up, thrown over to first, and that is out number 2. Billy Williams now the batter with 2 outs, nobody on. 2-2 count to Billy Williams. And he lines that one to left field. I believe that's going to be a base hit. Williams getting the 2-out single. Here in the bottom of the first inning, that'll bring up Ron Santo. Facing Gibson with 2 outs, runner on first. Santo waiting for the first pitch. And he lines that one down the right field line. I believe that's going to drop in for another base hit. Santo with a single. Williams sliding into third as he aggressively advances from first to third on that single. So back-to-back base hits now brings up Randy Hundley. With 2 outs, runners on the corners. 2-2 count to Hundley. And a liner down the left field line, that's going to be another base hit. The runner Williams is going to score. Santo holds that second, and the Cubs have scored a run. They cut into this Cardinal lead. It is now 2-1 in favor of St. Louis. Blomberg now the batter with 2 outs, 2 men on. The lefty Blomberg waiting for the 1-1 pitch, and he pops it up to straightaway center field. Taking a few steps to his right, and making the catch is Flood to end the inning. So the Cubs score once, they strand 2. We're going to the top of the second of a 2-1 ball game. Nye is going to face Gagliano here in the top of the second inning. 1-1 count, Nye with the pitch. And a pop-up on the infield. Banks heading over. He's called off by Beckert, who makes the catch for out number 1. Gibson now the batter, facing Nye with a 2-2 count. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Gibson goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the inning for Nye. And now that'll bring up Brock with 2 outs. And the first pitch to Lou Brock. And a liner down the left field line. Williams hustling into the well, the warning track, and he makes the catch. That is out number 3. So the Cardinals retired in order. We're going to the bottom of the second of a 2-1 ball game. And now Ernie Banks is going to lead off for the Cubs here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Banks and a grounder toward first. Picked up, steps on the base. Haig makes the play for out number 1. Glenn Beckert now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Gibson facing Beckert. And a grounder toward short. Picked up, thrown over to first. That is out number 2. Nye, the pitcher, is coming up to bat now with 2 outs and nobody on. And a full count pitch from Bob Gibson. And that is strike 3. He threw him a fastball right down the middle and said, do what you want with it. And Gibson strikes him out looking. So, we go to the top of the third. It is still 2-1 at Wrigley Field. Flood will face Nye here in the top of the third inning. 1 ball count, Nye working with the pitch. And a pop-up, deep left center field. Adolfo Phillips running over. Williams calling him off, and he's going to make the catch for out number 1. Brown now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. 1-1 count, and Brown waiting for the pitch. And that's popped up on the right side of the infield. This time Ernie Banks heading over. Beckert calls him off, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Nye now facing Haig with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-2 count. Nye working with the pitch. And a pop-up behind first base. Foul territory. Banks heads over by the bullpen, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So Nye retires the Cardinals in order. We're going to the bottom of the third of a 2-1 ball game. Kessinger leading off against Gibson here in the bottom of the third. Kessinger 0 for 1 on the day. Here's a 2-strike count and the pitch, and Kessinger grounds it right back to the mound. Gibson has it, flips it over to first. That is out number 1. Phillips now the batter with 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Adolfo Phillips, and he pops that one up on the left side. The third baseman heads over, and Shannon making the catch in foul territory for out number 2. Billy Williams now the batter. 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1 count, and the pitch to Billy Williams. And he lines that one into left field. That's going to be caught. Oh, I thought that was headed for the wall. Brown makes a diving one-handed catch to end the inning, and Billy Williams is robbed of an extra base hit. So the Cubs are tied in order. We're going to the top of the fourth of a 2-1 ball game. Nye will face McCarver, who leads off for the Cardinals in the top of the fourth. 2-1 count. Nye with the pitch. And a liner into the gap in left center field. This one isn't going to get down for a base hit. McCarver rounding first, heading for second. He is going to stand into second with a lead-off double. Tim McCarver with the extra base hit all the way to the wall in left center. And now Nye is going to face Shannon with nobody out, 1 man on. Full count pitch to Shannon. Inside for ball 4. So Nye issues the walk. Cardinals have the first 2 runners on. with nobody out in the top of the fourth. Maxville facing Nye with a full count, and that is outside for ball four. So Nye really struggling here in the top of the fourth inning of a 2-1 ball game. He is going to face Gagliano and Gibson, and I believe this is where we probably have to warm up a relief pitcher. A Cub relief pitcher, that is. And we see that we don't really have a lot of great options that are rested. However, Joe Decker is probably going to be the guy that's called on to throw some innings of middle relief in this game, should that be necessary. Nye facing Gagliano, nobody out, bases loaded in the top of the fourth. Here is the first pitch from Nye, and it's popped up to center. Coming in is Phillips, shallow center field, and actually the shortstop Kessinger is going to make the play to record the first out of the inning. And now the pitcher Gibson is coming up. Are they going to try a squeeze play here? That's a great question. Gibson facing Nye with one out and the bases loaded. 1-1 count. And popped up to short right. Coming in is Blomberg. He's going to make the catch for out number 2. That was very short right field, and the runner on third does not attempt to score. So now, Nye will face Brock with 2 outs and the bases still loaded in the top of the fourth. Brock 0 for 2 today. 1-2 count. Nye with the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Nye escapes the jam with a curveball. We're going to the bottom of the fourth inning. It is a 2-1 ball game in Chicago. Ron Santo facing off with Bob Gibson here in the bottom of the fourth. Full count, Gibson with the pitch. That is high and in. It is ball 4. Gibson give him a little bit of chin music there, but issuing the walk nonetheless. And now Hundley is the batter. Nobody out. Runner on first. Gibson facing Hundley with the first pitch, and a balk is called. Gibson is beside himself. He can't believe it. He is not happy with the umpire at all. So Santo, the tying run, is now in scoring position, and Hundley facing Gibson with a 2-2 count. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 3. The slider was down and in, and Gibson gets him for the first out of the inning. Now Blomberg is the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Blomberg waiting for the 1-1 pitch. And that gets away. It skips all the way to the backstop. So the runner Santo advances to third. And now the tying run is 90 feet away. Blomberg facing Gibson with a 2-1 count. And here is the pitch. And liner in left center field. I believe he got all of that one. Kiss it goodbye. Blomberg hits his first home run of the season and puts the Cubs ahead 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Nice piece of hitting there. 391 feet to the opposite field. And Gibson is just in disbelief as he gives up a home run to the rookie. Now, Ernie Banks is the batter. With 1 out, nobody on, Cubs now up by 1. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Ernie Banks, and a grounder toward first. Picked up and stepping on the base is Haig for out number 2. Glenn Beckert now the batter, facing Gibson with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-2 is the count, Gibson with the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. Beckert went chasing after a sinker. And now we're going to go to the top of the fifth. It is a 3-2 Cub lead. Nye is going to face Flood to lead off the Cardinals half of the fifth. Here's a 1-1 count. Nye with the pitch and a pop up to right. Blomberg chasing toward the line. He is going to make the catch. That is out number 1. Brown now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Nye facing Brown with an 0-2 count and the pitch. And that is strike 3 called. He got him with the sinker. So that is the second out of the inning. 4th strikeout of the day for Nye, and it brings up Haig with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-2 is the count. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Haig waves at a big curveball. 5 strikeouts on the day for Nye, and we're going to the bottom of the 5th of a 3-2 ball game. Nye now will come up to lead off against Gibson here in the bottom of the 5th. Nye waiting for the first pitch from Gibson. And a liner center field coming in fast as the center fielder Flood. He's going to make the catch for out number 1. Kessinger now batting with 1 out and nobody on. Gibson facing Kessinger with a full count and the pitch. And a grounder toward first picked up. Stepping on the base is Haig. That is out number 2. Adolfo Phillips now the batter, 0 for 2 on the day, facing Bob Gibson with 2 outs and nobody on. Full count pitch to Adolfo Phillips. And the swing and a miss for strike 3. So Phillips goes fishing for the sinker and he swings and misses. We're going to the top of the 6th of a 3-2 ball game. Nye now facing McCarver in the top of the 6th. This will be a 1-1 pitch. McCarver getting a big base hit last time up, and this time he pops it up behind shortstop. Kessinger going back into short left field. He is going to make the catch for out number 1. Mike Shannon now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Here's an 0-2 pitch from Nye. Here it comes. And a grounder towards short. This time Kessinger fields the ground ball, throws it over to first for out number 2. Maxville now the batter. 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 6th inning. Cubs up by 1. Nye with the first pitch to Maxville. And a liner into center field. That's going to be a base hit. A clean single with 2 outs from Maxville. And that will put a runner on, bringing up Gagliano with 2 outs. Runner on first. 1 and 2 count, and the pitch from Nye is on the way. And a grounder to short. Kessinger has it. Throws to second to get the lead runner and end the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. It is a 3-2 game in Wrigley Field. Billy Williams leading off against Bob Gibson here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Williams 1 for 2 on the day, waiting for the full count pitch. Gibson working. There's a liner into center field. That'll be a leadoff single for Billy Williams. So Gibson surrendering leadoff base hit, bringing up Ron Santo. Santo 1 for 1 on the day. Nobody out. Runner on first. Here's a 1 and 2 pitch to Ron Santo. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with a fastball that was up and in, and Santo couldn't lay off. So first out of the inning, 6th strikeout of the day for Bob Gibson, and it brings up Randy Hundley. 1 out. Runner on first. 2-2 count to Hundley. And Hundley lines that one to left field for another base hit. Williams looks like is going to stop at second as Hundley gets the single, and now Blomberg is the batter with 1 out and 2 men on. Blomberg hit a home run his last time up. Facing Bob Gibson, you know he's not going to get anything good to hit here. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch, and a grounder towards short. Picked up, thrown to second. There's no relay to first, however, as Blomberg grounds into the fielder's choice. Randy Hundley is injured on the play at second. However, he shakes it off and is going to remain in the game. So, Ernie Banks now batting. Cubs looking for some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Banks facing Gibson, 2-2 count, and Banks grounds it towards second. Oh, and the ball is dropped. Ernie Banks is going to be safe at first. The runner is going to score from third, and the Cubs now have a 4-2 lead. So Glenn Beckert now the batter. He is going to face Gibson with 2 outs and 2 men on. The unearned run scores, and now the Cubs have a 2-run lead. Here's the first pitch to Glenn Beckert, and he lines that one to left field for another base hit. Is the runner going to try to score? He's rounding third. He's coming home. The slide, and he is safe. So the Cubs now have a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. RBI single for Glenn Beckert expands the Cubs lead, and it brings up the pitcher Nye. Now, how many pitches has Nye thrown today? He has thrown 96 pitches in this game. Nye facing Gibson here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So it's a great question. Do we send up the pinch hitter and try to continue to expand the lead? I don't really know if that's the best possible plan, but Nye is going to have to face the number 9 spot, which will be a pinch hitter, and then the top of the Cardinal lineup. So at a minimum, we're going to get a reliever warmed up. It is going to be the lefty Steve Hamilton warming up in the bullpen. Now, Nye is also going to be replaced in favor of Jim Hickman for a pinch hitter. So Hickman coming up. Cubs trying to expand this 5-2 lead. Hickman will face Gibson. with 2 men on and 2 out. Here's a 3-0 count, and Hickman waiting for the pitch, and that is inside for ball 4. So Hickman drawing the walk, heads down to first. The bases are now loaded, and it brings up Don Kessinger. 2 outs, 3 runners on. Gibson still laboring out there on the mound. Here's a full count pitch to Don Kessinger, and a grounder back to the mound. Gibson has it, throws to first, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs score twice. They leave the bases loaded. We're going to the top of the 7th of a 5-2 ball game. And how are we going to do this? Well, I think that the lefty Hamilton is going to come in to pitch, and he is just going to remain in the number 9 spot in the lineup. So Hamilton facing off against the Cardinal pinch hitter Julian Javier here in the top of the 7th inning. Hamilton throwing 3 innings of 1 walk, 2 strikeout baseball. Hamilton having just been acquired in a trade. Facing Javier with a 1-1 count, and here is the pitch from Hamilton. And a pop-up on the infield. Hamilton actually coming over very high in the air. Beckert calling him off, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Hamilton now facing Brock with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Hamilton. And a liner past first base into right field. That'll be a single for Lou Brock. So he stops at first, and it'll bring up Kurt Flood. Hamilton facing Flood with 1 out, 1 man on. Cubs up by 3 in the top of the 7th inning. 1-2 is the count, and a grounder past third base into left field. That's going to be another base hit. Williams chasing it down. The Cardinals are going to have runners on second. Oh, and the runner is going to score. Lou Brock racing from first all the way around to home to score. And so Flood gets the RBI double, and the Cubs lead is now 5-3. The very speedy Lou Brock just circled the bases in amazing time. And now Flood is standing on second, and Brown is the batter. With 1 out, 1 man on, here's a 3-1 pitch and a grounder to third. This time, Santo has it. He throws to first. That is going to be the 2nd out of the inning. And now Haig is the batter with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. 1-2 count. Hamilton with the pitch, and a pop-up into left. Going to be short, and that's going to be, the throw is going to come home. It's a base hit. The throw is late, and Flood is going to score from second. So the Cubs now lead is now down to 1. An RBI single for Haig, and the pinch hitter is going to be Joe Torre here in the top of the 7th inning. Hamilton facing Torre with 2 outs and a runner on first. Hamilton working with a 1 strike count, and a pop-up to right. Going over toward right center is Blomberg, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So the Cardinals score twice. The Cubs still lead by 1 going into the bottom of the 7th. As everybody gets up to stretch, we're going to see Adolfo Phillips come up for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. He will face off against the Cardinal reliever Chuck Taylor. Taylor has thrown 3 innings of 1 walk, 4 strikeout baseball with an ERA of exactly 3. Phillips facing Taylor with a 1-2 count. Phillips waiting for the pitch. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Adolfo Phillips strikes out swinging for the first out of the inning. Billy Williams now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 1-2 count, and the pitch to Billy Williams, and a pop up to left. The left fielder Brock is heading over, and he's going to make the catch for out number 2. Ron Santo now the batter. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs and nobody is on. And the Cubs are actually going to see another reliever warming up. This is going to be the setup man Abernathy, who will be asked to pitch in the 8th inning. Abernathy warming up in the Cub bullpen. Santo facing Taylor with a full count and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That is low for ball 4 as Santo draws the walk. So he heads down to first, and now Randy Hundley is the batter. 2 outs, 1 man on, 2-2 pitch to Randy Hundley. Here it comes. And a pop up to right. This is going to be playable. Right center field Getting under it is the right fielder to make the catch for out number 3. So the Cubs strand a runner. We're going to the top of the 8th of a 5-4 ball game. And Hamilton is going to be pulled in favor of the reliever Abernathy here in the top of the 8th. Tad Abernathy is going to be... Oh, and we're going to actually... No, we're just going to bring him in. We don't need to do a double switch this time. Abernathy facing Shannon here in the top of the 8th inning. The righty Abernathy has thrown 10 1/3 innings, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an ERA of 0.87. Here is the first pitch from Abernathy. And here it comes. And a liner into left field. That'll be a leadoff single, as that is a line drive that Williams plays on a hop. So Shannon is on first, and now Pinson is the batter, with nobody out and the tying run on base. 1-2 is the count. The pinch hitter Pinson waiting, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Abernathy gets him with the curveball, and now Gagliano is the batter. With 1 out, 1 man on, Abernathy facing Gagliano with a 2-2 count and the pitch. And a grounder to second. Beckert over to Kessinger, the relay to Banks, and that is a 4-6-3 double play, which will end the inning. So Abernathy allows a base runner, but he's removed with the double play. We're going to the bottom of the 8th of a 5-4 ball game. Taylor facing Blomberg here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Blomberg with a home run. He's 1 for 3 on the day, waiting for the 2-2 pitch. Blomberg swings and he hits a towering drive into center field. That is going to be playable, however, as the center fielder Flood gets under it for out number 1. Ernie Banks now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Ernie Banks. And a liner into center field. That'll be a base hit. So Banks will be safe on first with a single. And now Glenn Beckert is the batter, and we're going to see a pinch runner for Ernie Banks over at first. The pinch runner is going to be, I believe, Rick Blatt. Yes, that's correct. Rick Blatt is going to pinch hit run for Ernie Banks. Glenn Beckert is the batter. Phil Regan is going to be warming up in the bullpen for the Cubs. Because if Beckert gets on, then we will see a pinch hitter for the pitcher's spot. Beckert facing Taylor with 1 out, 1 man on. 2-2 count. Blatt on first. Here's the pitch. And a grounder to second. Picked up, thrown to second, relay to first, and that will end the inning. A 4-6-3 double play for the Cardinals ends the Cubs half of the 8th. We're going to the top of the 9th of a 5-4 ball game. And now we're going to see Blatt, because I don't think that Blomberg... Yeah, Blatt is actually a better defender. So we're going to bring Willie Smith in right here. He's going to play first, and Blatt is going to stay in the game in right. Now, Abernathy is going to face the the pinch hitter, Danny Napoleon, for the pitcher's spot here in the top of the 9th inning. And Regan is actually warmed up and ready, so he will be brought in this situation. Regan is going to come in. He has thrown 10 innings, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a 1.80 ERA. Regan facing Napoleon here in the top of the 9th. 3-2 is the count. Regan looking for the sign. And he delivers the full count pitch. That is strike 3 called, so Napoleon is rung up looking. And now Lou Brock is the batter. With 1 out and nobody on. 1 ball is the count. Regan with the pitch. And a liner into center field, that's going to be a 1 out single. So Brock on first. The always dangerous, speedy Brock. And now Kurt Flood is the batter with 1 out, 1 man on. Regan facing Flood with a full count. Here's the pitch. Way outside for ball 4. So Regan issues the walk, and that is going to prompt a reliever, which we're going to see Olsen warming up. We're going to visit the mound, and we're going to say, oh yeah, I got plenty of juice. Now Regan is going to face Brown with 1 out and 2 men on. Here's the first pitch to Brown, and that gets away. It skips all the way to the backstop. So the tying run heads down to third. Brown now with runners on second and third and 1 out, and Regan in a real jam here in the top of the 9th. He needs to get a strikeout very badly right here. Here's a 1 and 2 count. Regan, and strike 3 is called. Regan strikes him out with a big slider, and Brown watches it go by. So Haig now the batter. Haig coming up with 2 outs and 2 men on, and so the catcher Torrey is coming up next. I don't know who to pitch to necessarily. I guess you just pitch to Haig since there's 2 outs and you just try to get this game over with. So Regan is gonna face Haig, trying to nail down this save. Here's a 1 and 2 count. Regan with the pitch, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Regan records the save, and the Cubs are victorious 5-4. So 5 runs on 8 hits with no errors for the Cubs, 4 runs on 10 hits with 1 error for the Cardinals. The player of the game is the Cubs' Rich Nye. He earns the win, throwing 6 innings of 5-hit, 2-run baseball with 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. The Cardinals dropping to 9 and 7, while the Cubs improve to 5 and 11. Regan also collects his 4th save of the season. Bob Gibson drops to 1 and 2. He threw 6 innings of 7-hit, 5-run baseball. Only 3 were earned, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So thank you for watching Cubs baseball.